Yeah. Deep-rooted conversations. Real talk. Real roots. Real us. Souls. Soft rain. No middleman between the truth. I can see it in your eyes, you got it. Pain got your heart moving cautious. Different worlds but the same kind of scars here. Different roads but somehow we still crossed it. Mad cause the world never listened right. Mad cause your truth always turned.
Joke and say I'm a transplant. So I was born in the Philippines. That's where my mom's family is from. But my father's family is from Mississippi.
Okay.
And so, but I've been here long enough. But I always like to say I'm a transplant.
No, I got it. I wanted to ask, because people have a different perspective of Mississippi historically, and not in actuality. Yeah. And so when we hear about Mississippi, my head is going directly to Mississippi burning. I'm going to turn left and deal with Medgar Evers. I'm going to turn right and deal with Emmett Till. And I wanted to ask, in 2026, what is it like being Black living in Mississippi?
I would say that you would hope that in 2026, right? You would hope that racially things would improve.
Yeah.
And this is where I find, because I personally love history.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite subjects. But when you have a state like Mississippi that has such a complex history, especially when we start talking about race, it's one of those things you cannot forget, right? But that's also why it's important to teach actual history. So then we know, okay, where are we going from here?
Yeah.
How can we improve things? Because when we try to simply just remove things or not think about it, and that's a whole other issue, is because it doesn't affect me, I don't worry about that.
Yes.
But that's the thing when in the Bible, when it says love thy neighbor, right? That's how you love your neighbor, truly, is being concerned about their well-being, their health, things that they need.
Yeah.
So in a state like Mississippi that has the history it has, sometimes, you don't want to think negatively, right? You always want to, and maybe this is just the way I was raised.
Yeah.
You want to try to be positive and see the good in things, but there's always that little part of you that's like, I really hope this isn't what I know it could potentially be.
Right.
And so in raising our children, we were very open and honest about those things, especially because the way I was raised. So my mother's Filipino, but my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, she is half white.
Oh, wow.
So now that I'm kind of getting this blowback and people are saying, oh, you're racist. I'm like, well, first of all, do you understand the definition of racism?
Yeah.
And what comes with that? But then two, again, I was raised that, hey, and this is a Mississippi. So, the Bible thumpers.
Yes.
Heavy into church when we were younger. And it was always one of those, love and show respect until that person shows you otherwise. But also to having that discernment.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when you're building relationships, right? You can't just take that person for face value. You have to understand who they are, not just, on the outside, but spiritually, like where are they at? And those are the things that he and I have tried to teach our kids. We've instilled in our children. But of course, when children get older, they're going to make their own decisions. But it's the hope that they're always going to do what's best for them.
Yeah. You all have how many children?
So we have 6 children.
6. The youngest is how old?
15.
15. So walk me through, because so much of the focus has been on the two of you. And people are not really saying that this is not just a son, it's also a brother.
Absolutely.
And so walk us through how the siblings are dealing with this, not just in the grief, but because they are of age, contending with social media. Are y'all having to pull them back?
So I'm so glad you asked this because in passing, of course, we kind of see little comments and a lot of people are like, well, what about the siblings? You guys don't ever, but this is the thing. And that's done, intentionally.
Yeah.
Our goal is to always protect them, even though 3 of them are adults.
Yeah.
We still want to provide that protection.
That's great.
They try to stay away from social media.
Yeah.
One of our kiddos is in therapy. The oldest is in therapy and kind of just dealing with those emotions because, again, they lost a brother. That wasn't just their brother, that was their friend, that was the person, that kept some of their secrets,
How's it been for the youngest going back to school? So it's one thing to be able to.
So for them, one question we ask, but we don't ask like every day is, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
I like to ask, is there something we can do?
Yeah.
Is there some place we can take you? Is there something you need us to get for you?
Yeah.
Because sometimes simply just asking, are you okay? Or how are you feeling? Because children at that age, they can't always fully express themselves verbally on what they're feeling.
Yeah.
So, asking what can we do for you sometimes is a little bit better because that gives them an outlet. But I'm gonna let Mo answer.
Come on, Mo.
So I want to stop there before Mo gets his conversation. She never answered the question that Pastor Jamal asked her. And tonight we're here to talk about a lot of information that's coming out, a lot of things that are going on, because I'm starting to feel that we're losing the sight of justice for Nolan. And Rain, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Super Matt, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the chat could correct me if I'm wrong. That's why I skipped always 12 minutes in, because the first 12 minutes they were talking about how they met, her working at a cell phone store. I'm trying to see how do these small micro conversations get us to the justice for Nolan. Like at this point, are we just doing tour stops, or like what is this? Like what are we doing here? Like I'm just trying to understand, because she never answered a question about what racism looks like in Mississippi.
No.
She really went more into that she's not black, and never really got to an answer. So just trying to see where we are with this. Are we seeking justice, or are we now creating small mini documentaries? What are we doing?
In my opinion, I think that this tour for justice that they're going on, speaking of different cities, bringing light to their situation, or trying to bring light to their situation, I truly believe that they feel that this will bring them justice. And unfortunately, I don't think it will. They can go all over the world, United States, and this alone is not going to bring them that closure that they need. The closure that they need is from Mississippi. The closure that they need is from the investigation. That's the closure they need. They can do this all day long. There's been countless of other families who lost their children to injustice, or lost their children to circumstances that really wasn't what's the word I'm looking for, that wasn't justified, or circumstances they didn't know how they passed. There's dozens of families out there that still want justice for their children as well. And I understand, as a mother, I understand her wanting to be out there in the limelight, hoping and praying that this could impact somebody else as well, give other families hope as well. But in the long run, in the end game, is this really doing them justice? The only closure that they're going to feel is after the investigation is over, after the grand jury does their due diligence, does what they need to do on their end. And in the end of that, they still might not be satisfied, because it still may not be the answer that they need to get closure,
Yeah.
So maybe they're doing this as a way of grieving as well. I'm not for certain. As a parent, if I were in the same situation, I'm not for certain how I would go along in this process.
Yeah.
Because I can't fathom this, at all, and I hope I never have to experience burying my child. But it's just, it's a tough situation. Sometimes they might be trying to hide behind a superficial facade too. And it's tough. It's tough.
Okay. We're gonna get to some of the chats and then we're gonna play some more here.
Supermax said, y'all therapy tonight, 333 therapeutic. Burying my unk in the AM, loving the RSN respect. Condolences, Supermax. Yeah.
Let us know if you need anything, big dog.
Absolutely. Yep. Condolences, Supermax. Miles said, good evening. Welcome in, Miles. We appreciate you being here. Penny says, shouldn't you be teaching your children how to effectively verbalize themselves and not just cater to the assumption of how they feel? That as well. And she said they had 6 altogether, right? And 3 are grown.
Yeah.
So the 3 that are not grown, they're missing out on you in the grieving process while you're doing this tour as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying not to do the normal what souls do, because I heard a lot of things. I think it's a lot of stuff that we overlook just due to how people feel about certain things. But she made a statement here that her and her husband said opposite on the last interview. She said when kids get older, they're going to make whatever choices they want to make. When they were on the stage last week with the other people, they said their son would never do something like that. And I think that's why I said, like, I think we have to get back to justice for Nolan.
Yeah.
Because now you're doing so many interviews that the wordplay is going to change eventually. Like, people who are really concerned about justice are going to start really looking like, okay, what is this about? Like, what are we really seeking today? What are we doing today? Like, and like, I literally heard y'all say my son would never do this. And then right now with Pastor Jamal Bryant, you said when kids get older, they'll make their own choices. We're just there to try to make sure that we're there to support them.
Yeah. Souls with that deep thinking brain. Penny said, prayer, Supermac. J Lord, that's how she knew how to get into Nolan's phone.
I don't know. We probably missed that, but welcome in, J Lord. I know you're still in here. Hit the like button. We appreciate you. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, hit the subscribe button. Wherever platform you're watching on, hit the subscribe button. It helps a lot.
Yeah, and put on those notifications so you know when we're going live. Supermax said, oh, wait, they don't. And that's the point. It's already out there. Penny said, I think she doesn't think she needs to answer that racism because she believes it's obvious that they can't be racist due to their minority status. J. Lord said the investigation will be completed when it's finished with the grand jury. Yeah. Miles said fundraising, maybe. Possibly be. Penny said, but I think they see the writing on the wall that the investigation has made its mind up and that they may not get to a grand jury. And they are just capitalizing off the 15 minutes, lesser of the two evils.
I feel you.
Jen said, thought the same thing, Rain. You think you know until it happens to you. Yeah. Yeah. Supermax said, Penny, strength is not requiring your support. Realness is being able to recognize you are not the last of the dying breed, just the newest, latest. In tears.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Penny said, facts. Girl Dad cooking up deliciousness. Welcome back. He said, hit that like button if you haven't. I seen some of that food over there. It looks good.
What's up?
Yeah, I ain't though, but I did scroll and I said, ooh. Penny said, this is what happens when you don't have an effective media strategy. But how can common folk have an effective media strategy? She probably didn't think that this was going to get national attention either.
Well, she's going to talk about it, right? She's going to talk about doing this interview that, Crump and them never reached out to them and how it all happened. So
yeah. Jen says to some it may be she's doing too much, to others she may not be doing enough. Yeah. J. Lord said the 3 oldest are from Briscoe and Nolan is Wells. Rest in peace, Nolan.
Oh, shout out to you, J. Lord.
Supermax said your regular thing is the thing, souls needing the same energy regularly. Not fate for now. It's love to the RSN. No extras, respect.
Yeah, I just try to, Supermac, I don't want people to feel like I'm not like empathetic to what's going on. But I just think we have to be very aware of everything we say is being scrutinized. And it's like, just at least be consistent if you're going to do your tour or whatever.
Right. Jay Laura said, in Jackson County, all unnatural deaths go to an investigative grand jury. Penny said, Rain, they're not common now with Crump and all. You could probably say that at the beginning, but not now. Yeah. Superman said, Penny always chat 333 moral leadership, a test when I catch the live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We're gonna play a little bit more here.
As far as the youngest, he's been busy. So school has started.
Yeah.
They're practicing early in the morning, so that keeps them busy. So school and football is keeping them busy, and he's more focused now because over the summer, him and Nolan, their bond got stronger because they both play the same position, receiver.
Yeah.
So Nolan was teaching him stuff, and he was understanding the things that he was teaching them to get better. So his focus has gotten laser sharp. He really wants to do good, not just for himself, but to make his brother proud. And he's constantly telling his mom that I'm gonna do it for you and you guys and Nolan. So he's really focused on having. I have no doubt in my mind he's gonna be great.
So that all the kids aren't by him then.
I'm assuming not.
Okay.
Great.
No,
So like I said, it's this fire inside of him that burns, that he wants to be the best. He wants to be better than his brother, but that's kind of like iron sharpens iron.
No,
The competition makes them better. And with
Did
this
you
happening,
play sports?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I played football all my life. Actually, I was told that when I was born, I was tossed through the house like football.
Yeah.
Because all my uncles played and they just kind of tossed me out of the house. My mom playing catch. So I've been playing football all my life. Just kind of following the family tradition. I had 3 uncles to play in the NFL. So, I didn't make it to the NFL. I went to some camps and everything, but the knowledge that I learned, I was passing it down to my kids.
No,
so they would have a better chance because I didn't have no one there telling me do this. I had to learn on my own.
Yeah.
But with me, I was passing what I learned over the years down to them to better their chances.
That's beautiful. I think the only thing that has outraged me more than this tragedy itself is the treatment of you.
Yes.
I'm dizzied by it. So that, it's compounding the pain.
Yeah.
To have 1, the loss of a child, 2, to be thrust into cameras on a daily basis. People got an attitude. If you eat ice cream, how dare you eat ice cream?
How dare I go to the store? How dare I smile?
Right.
Yeah. And I wanted to jump around for just a moment and talk about how this is impacting you professionally, outside of just being a parent. Now everybody is on Yelp giving nurse reviews. I don't even know where this has come from.
It's
when you first saw it, what was going through your mind?
It's funny because, and this is what I mean by discernment.
Yes.
I have always been someone who was just very in tune, not just with myself, but people, situations. And that night before it hit the internet, we were in bed. And I was like, they're going to come for my career.
You said that.
I told them, I was like, they're going to come for my career. I don't know if it is going to be now, in a few weeks, in a few months. I said, but I'm telling you, they are going to come for my career. And when I say they, I'm not talking about any specific group of people, just people who don't like the fact that we are just wanting answers.
Yes.
We're just wanting the truth.
Can you imagine to be insulted that you want answers and closure about your son?
I say it all the time. All we did was ask a question.
Yes.
We asked a question that any good, loving, caring parent or parents would ask if something like this happened. I would hope, and I have said this every interview, press conference, I would hope that, God forbid, if you were in this situation, that you would ask the same question. You would want to know, because when you are left with your child is gone.
Yes.
We can't answer what happened, when it happened. We can't answer any of these questions. It's hard to cycle through the stages of grief and you get stuck.
Yeah.
And so, that's all we did was ask a question. And I have, really just tried to mentally, but you can't mentally prepare yourself
No.
for any of this, because at the end of the day, and I've said it before, we didn't ask for this.
Yeah, shock and awe.
We did not ask to lose our child. We have not asked for people. Let me say this. We have not begged, because that's another thing. We have not begged anyone to donate to the GoFundMe. What we have said is that if you can, great. Thank you. We appreciate it, because what people don't understand is situations like this, there's so much that comes with it. Elmore and I have not been to work since early July.
Yeah.
That first week, we've not been to work. And I'm going to be honest with you, the profession that I have sometimes is emotionally heavy.
Yeah.
So now I have to kind of sit within myself and be like, okay, are we really ready for this? Are we ready to go back to that life? But it's been that hurt.
No,
Seeing it.
I
that
can't
hurt.
imagine. Mo, I'm scrolling through Instagram the other week, and they even created AIs of you buying sports cars.
Oh,
Yeah.
we just
Just
saw
saw
that. I was
Just saw
like,
that.
what? That doesn't even look. No, I'm happy with my little car. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to.
But the intentionality of wickedness
No,
Right, right,
absolutely.
right.
It's
to
disgusting.
give a bad portrayal is something I've never seen
No,
at this level and at this height. And the end game, I think, is just intimidation.
absolutely.
And a lot of times when you hear cyberbullying,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it's middle schoolers. So
Yeah.
cyberbullying is in high school, but not for adults
Yeah.
who are grieving.
And I've never cases and we were just talking about this, cases similar to ours. I've never seen this. I've never seen that. And it's, the cyberbullying component of it.
Yeah.
And so, and I hate to say it, but it's so sad. Like, sometimes it takes you to a place.
Mm.
And so as I'm sitting here experiencing this,
No.
I think about kids,
Mhm.
particularly in our community. Her name was Aubrey Wyatt. I think about those situations and I'm like, my God, feel like sometimes I'm barely holding on.
Wow.
This, just thinking from a child's perspective who hasn't been through life, who hasn't been through anything, to know that they would have to endure something like this, because this stuff is taught.
Mhm.
You're not and that's why as parents, we have to be careful, because you guys, this is not cool. Bullying other people. If you have children, your children are going to see this at some point.
Oh, no, for sure.
And then that carries over to, how they're going to behave and how they're going to treat others.
Yeah. What, I lost my mother almost 2 years ago.
I'm so sorry.
And as a pastor, I had to wrestle with why God allowed in his permissive will. My mother worked in church her whole life. If you wanted a prayer through, take it to my mother. Yeah. And then you add to that, my mother passed 45 days before my wedding.
Oh.
And I cried at my wedding. I told my wife, I had one.
So we're going to stop it there, because I don't know if you guys were able to see the whole interview, but this was pretty much the atmosphere of the interview. It was not about Nolan Wells. It was about everything else that was going on. Just like when y'all heard Pastor Jamal Bryant say he's baffled by what's going on with these parents. The same thing happened to Carmelo Anthony parents. People were accusing them of buying homes, buying cars. That's pretty typical of what's been going on in most of these very visible cases. With that being said, the biggest thing tonight is all about, and we posed this question before on Town Hall, what does justice look like? What does justice look like? How long should people have to be so empathetic to a point where it's like, okay, but we're not talking about Nolan? None of this talks about Nolan.
No.
And then if somebody does investigation work like we have, but we're not going to put it out there, we can, we know about the family, then we in the wrong. But it's like, well, y'all not talking about Nolan no more. You're not talking about Nolan. We're up here now just throwing things at the wall, hoping it stick or and the craziest thing is this: Nolan was a great young man. We're not even fighting against the character of Nolan. You don't have to go on no campaign talking about how great of a person he was. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
No one has said there's not a negative thing the world has said about Nolan. No one. This tour does not need, like, he doesn't need any character references. He was a great young man on the verge of going to the next level in football. So it comes a point where we have to ask what is going on here. You know, you stop in Georgia, you're doing his birthday celebration at a AME's church, singing happy birthday on the stage. Pastor Jamal Bryant somehow spoke at that event that's not even his church. Then the next day you're on an interview with him. Like, I guess like Rain and Jen said, maybe everybody agrees differently, maybe everybody does things differently. But my biggest thing is, like, where's the justice? Where's the justice piece? That's where I come in to ask the questions. Like, when you guys come here and watch Miss Lancaster on Sunday, you'll see what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like, we got to talk to her already. You'll see what it sounds like for a mother who's been fighting for years now for justice.
2 years.
And it looks totally different. It sounds different. She carries herself differently. Like, it's levels to everything. So we just got to start being very transparent at some point. You got anything, Rain?
No, we can move forward.
All right. I'm gonna get to some of these right here.
Penny says, so we championing other causes. Just 2 minutes, not a second more. So Penny laughing at me. Matt said, this superior content, gut-wrenching heartbreak requires levity. 333, the livest chat. J. Lord said, I've watched it 3 times, laughing.
Yeah.
Penny said, do you think they would have Publix? What do I mean, Penny?
He talking about in Florida or in Georgia. That's a store.
Yeah, Publix. We have Publix in Georgia and Alabama. Penny said, do you think they would say they accepted a deal to settle an NDA? Ooh.
I don't know. You talking about some Colin Kaepernick now.
J. Lord said, Nolan's death is a loss for society. That's a fact.
We agree with you.
It's just me. Said, yeah, didn't get that. Welcome in. It's just me. J. Lord said, it's not about justice. It's about something much bigger. Supermax said, so y'all live at the same time? Wow. So Penny said, like a Kaepernick situation.
Oh, man. I ain't even see that. We said the same thing.
Penny said they changing the channel quick.
Yeah. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We're just here to bring y'all facts, bring y'all details, share the information that we're getting throughout the night. We're going to keep reminding you guys of the Lancaster family. They will be on Same Soils, Different Roots this Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will ask everybody who comes into the town halls to come and support this family. And it does have nothing to do with monetary, just coming to support, come to hear her story. This story has a lot of loose ends. I think you guys will be very intrigued about this story, and it has a lot of similarities. So I will highly encourage everybody to come out and support. Yes, great mother. We got to speak to her. It was yesterday. We got to speak to her yesterday for a while. So she will be up again Sunday. So just make sure you guys can come up and support, man, even if it's just stopping in, throwing some prayer hands, whatever you're going to do. But she has an amazing story, amazing heart. You can actually tell.
Yeah,
And she's truly just seeking justice. She has no, like, it's like no ill will at all. Like, it's like a pure, you guys will get to see it. So
she wants closure and a conclusion.
That what she said. She just wants closure and a conclusion. It's a lot of things that aren't making sense, aren't adding up. So and that's what she's seeking. So that's her form of justice. So shout out to the Lancaster family. The mother, Sophie, will be here on